You have given consent to being recorded, and maybe you've even gone in the recording booth and you've done the job. You've been to the studio, your performance has been recorded, you got the job done. Now, does it mean you've also agreed to releasing that recording to the public or commercializing? That's a common belief that I've noticed my clients, whether they're talents, voiceovers, content creators that work with voice or with any other forms of performance. They believe that because they've said yes to being recorded in whatever form, whether it's sound or film, they've also said yes to the release or any type of use of that recording. And that is not the case. The law recognizes that as a performer, you have the right to A, consent to being recorded in the first place, and B, consent to the use of that recording. And you have a right to decide on what terms and conditions the usage, the release of that recording is done by your producer, client, or collaborator. So this means that in practice, if you've gone in the recording booth, or if you've gone to the studio, you've gotten the job done, but you haven't fully negotiated or you haven't finished negotiating the terms of the usage of the recording by your collaborator, the distributor, or any of the third parties working with your client, then you can still make that happen and you haven't lost any right or leverage or any say in deciding, authorizing, or refusing certain conditions for the release. Often, the question lies on how far the recording will travel, who will get to use it, how much will they be able to use and reuse the recording, and for what fee. It is important for you to leverage and use as much as you possibly can your right as a performer to say yes to the usage of your recording as much as you have a right to say yes to being recorded in the first place. That is part of the rights that the law of intellectual property gives you. That is a right that is guaranteed under UK law, under EU law, and also under international law. That means that it would apply to most performers and most performing artists across the world. And I would include in that anyone who works in content that records their face, their voice, or their likeness, whether it's sound recording or films. So really it applies to a lot of content creators today, and it's really important that you know you have those two basic rights as well as other rights, whether it's in intellectual property, data protection, or contracts, to only name a few. I am Dr. Mathilde Pavis, and I'm a lawyer in your corner. I'm on a mission to make sure content creators, artists, tech developers know their rights, use their rights, and monetize their rights. If you found this video useful, follow me on social media because I will be publishing more. I do my best to share as much information to content creators so they can make the most out of their business and their creative practice. I use various social media accounts. I would encourage you to go and subscribe and follow me. You can also go to mathildepavis.com to sign up to my newsletters. I put out free resources there, as well as I run digital courses that you can sign on to join me anytime during the year. If you have any questions, get in touch. I do my best to answer as many questions and queries I receive, so you can email me, DM me, or reply to this post. If I get a question over and over again, the great thing is that then I do a video and other people can learn from the question you've asked. So do not hesitate, and I'll do my best to address your query and give you as much information as I can. In the meantime, keep creating and enjoy.